Good Meridium. How's everybody doing today? We're doing a special stream right now because my good buddy Dampe is back on the site. Haven't seen him in maybe a year, 9 months, something like that. And I'm going to give him a little tour of the new spawn. So let me hopping in now. Okay. Let's come in here. Hi, I am Rock. Sweet. I have map on live stream if you want. That might be a little easier. Show you a little bit. I'll wait till you're there. Let me know when you get into chat. All right, let me know when you're in chat. Might be a little bit easier for us to talk once. See you there. Show you the map, all that kind of good fun stuff. Hey, how are you doing? You are here in chat. Awesome. Can you hear me? Is everything okay with the microphone here? Might be a little bit easier for us to talk. I'm about to starve, and I figured I wouldn't do anything with the food. I'm just going to let myself starve. But I do want to show you this. Did we ever play with the town mapper? Did they even have a town mapper when we were around last time? Let me show you something here. I think you probably know what the town mapper is, right? You ever cared to look at that? I don't remember that we did it at all. I don't remember ever using it in the past. Let me set this up here real quick. I can show you what I'm talking about. It's a little bit nicer for a here. A little bit nicer for a tour, I think. Why I thought it would be better to get on the stream to do it. So of course, here's our spawn point right here. Yeah, it's been around for a while. Okay, cool. So here's our spawn point, and I plan to have this little area built out a little bit with some flooring, and then have it a place where we can put all of our clothes, right? When you first spawn in, you have access to all your clothes right here. But of course, I remember you made some really good buildings and stuff to put clothes and horses and pens in and all that kind of stuff, which I thought was pretty cool. And I kind of I'm kind of taking you really inspired me, I guess, last time that we were playing in the way that you did your buildings. And of course, I am not anywhere near that skilled at all, but just the idea, the concepts that you had are kind of inspiring or inspired something that I want to end up getting to here for this. So I was kind of thinking of a building with clothes right in here for our spawn point. And then right over here in this area with the trees that are here right now, I think I've chopped all these trees down by now. And we've got horses here. So right as soon as you spawn in, you grab some clothes, you come over to the west a little bit, and then you should have some horses. So if we go up this road a little bit, go north up this road, the horses show up here in this map, but they're actually down there. And so this is a mess, but this is the kitchen area. And I've built out a little bit of the garden here. And then we've got a bunch of yums all along this pathway here. So I'm putting yums all along the roads. We come up a little bit to the northeast of that, the pens, and this is a little bit older pen. Somebody worked on this a little bit more. I think I put this part together, and then someone came in and built out a little bit more, extended it a little bit more. And so, and separated the animals. So now it's a little bit bigger than this. We've got a spinning wheel, got a loom, we've got a weighted loom and I guess a normal loom as well that don't show up in this map. We've got all of the trees, so something this map doesn't show either is the apple, lemon, and orange trees with the beehive all in this flower biome right here. We're getting pollinated trees of all types, but this is just the start of my orchard that I was going to do. And I remember your orchard was amazing. So my plan was probably do a bigger orchard out over here. But we're a far away from that. And even though I'm playing almost every day, there is one other person who's played with me several hours on one of the days, but nobody's really nobody has been very consistent playing a lot. And so things are still, someone will come in and they'll whip up something real quick who's an advanced player, but I'm still really new. And so of course I'm really slow, right? If we take this map, and if you want to see where the forge is, again, down here is our spawn point. And then if you go over to the west, down south a little bit, and then to the west a little bit more, so we had this for our forge just like one day ago, I think. We had this for our forge area. And then somebody came in, Cowboy, it was his name, or is his name he's been playing at. And he's a pretty good player too. So he's just come in and kind of revamped this area. Not like fully advanced, but at least he's really set up a couple of stone forges. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, you can make clothing store if you want. Absolutely. Yeah, that would be really cool. If you wanted, I want you to have fun, right? I want everyone who comes into the spawn, I want y'all to do what you want to have fun. So if you want to do a clothing thing, that would be great. If you have something else that you'd love to do or you're inspired to do, then do that. You say, I think I inspire a lot of people with my buildings. Yes, no doubt, because like my second day in, I had a couple of people from the community who had been around for a while jump in my seed. I was kind of opening it up to the community a little bit so they could just see, here's the new guy or the guy who's come back after a while and playing a little bit if they wanted to join in or have fun or something. And I was asking around a little bit. Hey, there was this guy who I played around with a lot. I remember I had a lot of fun with, but I couldn't remember your name. And so somebody said, "Oh, I bet that's Damp." I was like, "Oh, yeah, that sounds a little familiar." So and so when I saw your name in chat tonight, I was like, "Is that you?" Because I wasn't positive that was your name, but yeah, very cool. Absolutely. And then, so if you're if you're curious about a little bit more of the area, if we're here at the forge area, and again, you're welcome to expand on it, or if you feel that it's already built out enough for your liking, feel free to use it, whatever you want in there. Of course, I trust you fully. And if we come a little bit further to the west, so I'm just going to kind of lead you down here. If we take this road out to the west, then keep going straight west until you get to these grapes. So there are these grapes right here. There's a skeleton, and there's some rabbits right in this desert biome. And then you start going diagonally down the west, southwest. And there are 2 mines right here, pretty close together. And we've just barely started mining these 2. So I think I've leveled this one up to a level 2 mine, and we haven't, at least I haven't been digging in this mine at all. Maybe somebody else has, but like I said, there's not been a lot of consistent other players. I think I've only given maybe 2 other people my seed phrase, and so we don't have a lot of people, and I generally don't have babies. But there is, I think, 2 or 3 people that have stuff. Features You says, how can you look at a map like that? I am running the town planner. And in fact, we can zoom out quite a bit, right? And so that's one of the things that I was going to show after we showed that area. Come back to our spawn site. And so Damp, if you want to see a little bit larger of the area, you can zoom out a little bit. Again, our spawn's right in the middle of the screen right here. And then we have our forge. We have our kitchen, perhaps, which is a mess, which I want to clean up. We have our garden. We have yums all along this road. Animal pen. This had been a milkweed farm area, but now that we've got sheep and wool, and I guess someone was doing some cotton up here for a little bit. Then if we zoom out a little bit more, I've got roads up to the northeast and the northwest, and those go up to a couple of other large biomes. And I've put a few things out in these biomes. So there's a kiln over here in the far northeast. There is a beehive over here with some other fruit trees up in this one. And then we scroll out a little bit more, zoom out pretty far. This is the full minus 200 plus 200, so 400 by 400 look around our entire area. And so, yeah, it's pretty extensive. I found a couple of mines, but I haven't marked, or I have them written on paper, but I don't have much more than that. And I think these 2 mines that are currently right over here, where our 2 mines are at negative 130 and negative 47, then there are some other mines that I found, but those are the only ones that we're actively mining. There's a lot of cool stuff, not a huge amount of green biome where we're at right now, but I do see other green if it really matters, and I don't know if it does. But yeah. So yeah, Features You. If you wanted to download the town planner, it allows you to do the map like that, and then of course you have to actually explore those areas. So it starts off all black, right? And then as you play the game, as long as you have the maps turned on in your game, let me pull that up here real quick. If we look at the One Life and we look at settings, you have to have save map files turned on. And then if you have saved map files turned on in your 2 Hours One Life gameplay, then it will save the maps, and then those will be available for you in the town planner. But of course, you have to explore those areas first. So it took me, might have taken me an hour, perhaps maybe 2 hours to explore this whole area and get all the area filled in. Otherwise, it's black until you go explore it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's see, Damp. Yeah, definitely building fun stuff. Yes, and so Damp, I don't know what else you might be interested in seeing. I don't really have a plan much for anything other than, build out a little orchard over here, maybe in this northwest area. Thinking about putting another orchard up in here, but I hadn't given it a ton of thought. And I don't really remember a ton of stuff from when we were playing last year. I noticed that there's a tarry spot right here next to our forge area. And I remember that was kind of a big deal for us to get something going, some kind of a drill or a pump or something going on the tarry spot. So it's good that we have something there. But I haven't even gotten far enough to do much. I'm still kind of focusing on some of the food. I've been spending quite a bit of time kind of getting more varieties of yums set up for us right here. But I think right now we've got a pretty good variety of yums. I've been keeping up with the garden as my top priority mostly. So I think we're pretty stocked as far as food goes. And I collected a bunch of animals, a bunch of different kinds of animals. I think I might be missing one still. Forget about the bison. Oh, just maybe the wolf, but I didn't see a big need for the dog. Somebody had horses. I noticed that we don't have any horses up here, which is interesting because like the first day, somebody came in and made a ton of horses for us. I think we've got a total of 4 horses in here. But I don't think that person's been back. I don't think it was Cowboy. It might have been somebody else. I don't think they've been back since then. And I noticed that we don't have any horses pinned up. So I'm not sure if that's important since we already have 4 horses. Oh, and a wagon. So let me show you something else real quick. I've got a spreadsheet over here where I've been doing some stuff, kind of keep myself in line with what I'm trying to do, more food varieties, get a forge, get an animal pen. And of course, a lot of these have been marked in green. And one of the next things that I want to do is build that wagon, because I remember when we were playing last year, that wagon holding 8 items was pretty cool. That's going to be on my list of things to do probably tomorrow. Someone was mentioning to me or suggesting to me that we get signs for directions on where things are located. I don't remember that we cared about that last year, but oh, chickens, that's right. Yeah, chickens was something that we had before, and there is a chicken in our area. So if we go back to the editor and we look back here, again, looking at our spawn point right down here, in this green biome, I did bring a chicken over here. It was in our pen, but I guess someone released it out of the pen. So now it's kind of wandering around this green biome area. I guess no one's put it back in there. And so we do have a chicken in the area, not in the pen. So yeah, chickens or something. And also, I don't remember if getting a rooster was very important. But we might think about doing something with that. I seem to remember vaguely that getting a rooster and having baby chickens was something that I was mildly interested in last year. So far, it's been low on the priority list, though. You can make an orchard similar to the last one if you want. Yeah, that'd be lovely. But again, like I said, I don't want you to feel obligated to do anything. I just want you to have fun and enjoy yourself and just do whatever it is that you want to do. Oh, speaking of chickens, there is the chicken wandering around in the area somewhere in the biome. Of course, this is a map where everything gets updated, so it's not there. Yeah, happy to give you the info on that. Let's see. And a horse wagon is pretty essential to get the rocks and stuff you need, and you need an airlock for the pen. Airlock. What you mean? Oh, an air. Oh, right. So like a second entrance or something like that. Yeah. Roosters only need for breeding the chickens. Building is fun for you. Awesome. Yeah. Building stuff is fun for me too. I'm just just a much uh noob beginner, I guess. So I'm a lot slower than you are, but it's just fun for me to do the building too. I'm glad. I guess, if you like the construction building type of games, then this is the type of game you like, right? Which is why I'm here again. So let's see. Is there anything else that you might need to see? I can't imagine that there's anything else that you would need to see. We've got coconut trees over here. I guess we've got a jungle biome down south. So I guess I didn't show you the south pathway. The south pathway is just kind of going out to nothing right now, but it's started, and there is a nice jungle biome with quite a bit of banana trees and some stuff like that down here. Got a little bit of a river, which I think we can do some crab hunting, lobster, stuff like that. I haven't done any of that yet. And I can't even think what else you might need to know about our area. And I'm sure that if anything pops up tomorrow or the next day, then we'll be chatting about it. So yeah, we have a little bit of stuff built out, but there's a long way to go. So a couple of things back to my spreadsheet. And if you want me to add anything to the spreadsheet, just to kind of keep on my to-do list, which you can kind of share with me, or maybe just for you, if you've got something that you want me to keep in mind for myself and to kind of work towards. The wagon is something, and I wanted to do some practicing with smithing steel. So I just have a little note to myself. I want an additional hoe, a shovel, and an axe. But this is something that I'm going to try to do myself just for my own practice. But we, of course, could use some extras. And then somebody wanted me to put this thing for signs, for directions, kind of low on my priority list. Guess I wanted to hear the community's input about it a little bit. Do we need signs for directions? Could be good for new people coming into the area, but I don't suspect we're going to have a lot of new people coming into the area. It's mostly just going to be people like you and Cowboy and maybe one or two others that kind of know the area a little bit already. But I'm down for putting signs. That sounds kind of cool, right? Kind of flesh it out, make it more uh what's the word? Charming, I guess. Oh, let's see. It used to take me like 6 hours to make a building, so don't feel bad. You'll get faster. Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed, of course, already that there are some things that I'm getting a lot faster with. And I watched uh oh my god, Jane Galt's stream today. In fact, I was gonna stream today myself, but Jane had such a interesting stream on Twitch that I started to watch there a little bit, and then I had some other um, priorities here around the house, so I ended up not streaming today. But I peeked into his stream every now and then, and helped him out a little bit. And for once, I was someone who knew a little bit more than the other person, and so I was able to answer some questions and help them out a little bit. So that made me feel good too. But it was all really basic stuff. So anyway, if you can think of anything that you'd like me to add just to keep track of it here, I'm sure you've got your own priorities of things, and you probably remember quite a bit of stuff, even if you need to refresh yourself a little bit. Sure, you probably remember a lot more than I've ever known. Let's see. So anyway, that's what we have there. I usually put signs on the buildings. Yeah, okay. I can see that. Might add a little bit of charm and novelty to the thing. Sure, you bet. Let's see. And I think that's it. Of course, you're welcome to use whatever you find. There isn't anything in the town that is going to be off limits to you, so feel free to do whatever you want. You see something. And of course, like using the wagons and all that kind of stuff, or the carts that we have right now, feel free to, I think one or two of them do have rubber wheels now. I think someone made some rubber the other day and put some rubber wheels on one of these things. So if you like that, take that. Uh, and I think we have some interesting clothes. I don't see them here. Somebody made a pair of trouser shorts for me. Cowboy made a pair of trouser shorts for me, and somebody must have run off with those. So I don't know where they are. Anyway, I was gonna say, hey, just take whatever clothes you want. I'm sure we'll make more eventually. I'm not worried about any of that kind of stuff. Let's see. We got, like I said, we got our spindle and other looms that are newer than this map is in this area. And then we have some tanning racks and some other stuff over there. As long as the road connects to the buildings, people will find, yeah, their way around. Absolutely. And again, you're welcome to. So I think you remember how I've done the roads in the past. I don't know if this is a standard way to do them, but I try to make the roads go right near the natural springs. And so, of course, we've got the natural spring there turned into a well. If we continue along this way, then I think there should be a natural spring somewhere over here, but of course it's the desert, so we don't have one. But if we come down here, this next road goes right by a natural spring somewhere. And if not right there, then it is a little bit further down this path. And it's not that important that I show you. And then if we come south, so there's another natural spring right at this intersection, which is now built out to be a well, by the way. Somebody built that out to be a well. And then if we keep going south, then we'll have another natural spring here. And then if we go northeast up to the end of this, we got another natural spring right here. So that's how I've been doing those. But again, wherever you want to put the buildings is fine with me. And then if you need anything, if you need me to gather anything or make some lower level things to kind of help you out, then I'll be excited to work on that kind of stuff. Very cool. It's 12:30 midnight my time right now. I forget what time zone you're in. What time is it where you're at? I was going to head to bed. Uh, Actually, I was going to head to bed right then, and then I saw you online and I got excited. But I am going to want to get to bed here pretty soon. Like I said, I'll usually wake up around 6 a.m., so in about another 5.5 hours, probably. I don't always start streaming about that time. I don't expect you or anybody else to be on at any specific time, but I'll usually start streaming then, and then I'll usually stream for maybe about 3, 4 hours. I'll take a little break for a while, and I'll jump on the stream again for another 3 or 4 hours, take a break, jump on the stream again for another 3 or 4 hours. I'll generally be on stream all day tomorrow, had a couple of different times, with just a couple of breaks in between. So feel free to jump on at any time. And then also, I will get in to the game even when I'm not streaming. So there'll be a few times when I'm doing kind of boring things like laying out the roads or doing something else kind of boring. Like when I was searching all of this land and I wasn't doing a stream while I was searching that out, because nobody wants to see me just wandering around aimlessly for 2 hours on a stream. But when I'm working on the garden or when I'm working on other stuff, I'll usually set up a stream as well. See, Damp says, I'm pretty sure it's 40 tiles in construction from the string. It is 40 tiles. That's right. 7:30 in the morning here. Oh, wow. So you're quite a bit off from me. I don't remember that, but that's fine. Interesting. Interesting. Were we doing early morning streams last time, or were we doing late in the evening streams? Or for you, your time? Can't remember that. But I will be streaming probably probably right now. So 7:30 in the morning is probably one of the times when I'll probably be getting done, going to bed, and then in about 5 or 6 hours I'll be waking up. Denmark. Ah, that's right. I remember that now. So probably in about 5 or 6 hours I'll be waking up and then streaming, a whole bunch more hours after that. So whatever fits best into your time, feel free to jump on in anytime. And then there might be some times when I'm not streaming, but I'll still be in the game. And of course, you're welcome to get in and fiddle around if you want to do something and I'm not here. Then I'm not the type of guy I think that's gonna get freaked out by somebody changing the area. Plus, I trust you and trust what you're doing. Yeah, I want you to feel like this is a home for you too. Always have trouble sleeping, so odd hours. Yeah, no worries, man. Worry. Okay, anything else that I can share with you here before I head on out and try to get some sleep in before another full day tomorrow? I think we're good with everything. Ugh. Yawns. Hope grandmother's doing well, like I said. Sorry to hear that. Getting old is no fun and it's a part of everybody's life. But we'll be doing some gaming stuff. That should lift our spirits. Yeah, you might get do you know how to do the cuttings these days? With the changes with how the cuttings need the linen cloth in the honey to strain the honey. That was new to me. I don't remember doing that 9 months ago. And we had to build this whole weighted loom, which again isn't showing up in this image here. But I had to put together a whole weighted loom to get this linen cloth to strain the honey to get the cuttings. Crazy. All right. Oh, let's see. I'm good for the night. Go get some sleep. She's okay, but she's not like be confined. Yeah, I don't doubt that to the air. I've done the cuttings before. Oh yeah, okay. So you've done the cuttings with the cloth. Yeah, that was. I think that's been something new added in the last time that I was online in the game. Yeah, it was a little bit of a different thing for me, but ended up getting it. And so right over here where the bees are, in this biome, flower biome, I do have a cloth with a bowl. And I guess you know, but let me just say, just in case, one of my viewers suggested that we keep that cloth stored in a bowl. Otherwise, it'll despawn after some amount of time. And you probably know that. But since that cloth was such a pain to get, I thought I'd just go ahead and mention it. Other than that, sure that you can handle yourself. I'm going to get some sleep. So I'm going to head on out, but I will definitely chat with you tomorrow. And yeah, it's great to see you again here too. Features You says, thanks for showing me again. I'd be down to play on your town if you'd have me maybe. Yeah, absolutely, man. So I plan to be streaming off and on, mostly on, all day tomorrow, starting in about 5 or 6 hours. And then, so starting in about 5 or 6 hours is the start of my day. And then probably for the next, well, very likely until this time tomorrow, which is my midnight, I'll probably be either streaming and or gaming without a stream or something. So yeah, anytime throughout the day, if you want to drop by and come on in, just shoot me a message or let me know, and I'll send you the spawn code, or we'll turn on babies and all that other kind of stuff and get you in so you can play around with this a little bit. Damp says, oh, wait, cloth? I haven't done that last time. We just had to dip. Nope. Yes, I remember last time we did just dip the cuttings in the honey. But this time you have to get the bowl of honey, you've got to crush the honeycomb and filter it with, in fact, let me get in and show you just so you can see. It's easy. I'm sure you can figure it out on your own. But since I'm right here and since I've done it a bunch of times, so we're going to go back to back. I'm going to go to play, and then I'll just give you a quick overview. So I'm going to run here, and then we're going to go north, and then we're going to go over here where the honey and the bees are. Oops, don't need that. And so, of course, here we've got our little beehives. Somebody broke this. I used to have this all in one. Somebody broke it into two. Not sure why that is. Maybe it's just because we have the 3 fruit trees here, and maybe someone thought that putting one there would be a little bit better to propagate these fruit trees. Whatever the case is, we need to take one of these honeycombs right here. Take one of these honeycombs, put it in the clay bowl with a cloth, right? It goes in the clay bowl with a why isn't it going in there? Oh no, right, sorry. It doesn't go like that. What happens first is we need an empty bowl, which I'm surprised we don't have. Let me grab an empty bowl. Here, back down here. All right, so how we're going to do this is we're going to grab a honeycomb, toss it in the empty bowl, take the rock, the round rock, tap it onto the honeycomb to get a bowl of crushed honeycomb. Then we're going to take the bowl of crushed honeycomb. We have to put it in a clay bowl with the cloth. Then we dump out this dirty beeswax. I think we can do something with that if we do it quick enough. Then we take the bowl of filtered honey, pour it into the, or no, take the bowl of filtered honey, just right click on that to get out the cloth, but then you have to put the cloth back in a fresh bowl, otherwise it'll despawn. And then that ends up with our bowl of honey. So that's the way we need to do it. It's a little bit more work to get that honey done, but then it's the same thing. Once you have this honey, then you just dip the cutting into the honey and you're good to go. Yeah. Just this cloth was the new part. And Sam says, remember, you can just use the search function, press J. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely do that too. I've usually been using the website for that. So for honey, as an example, oops. And of course, you know about the website too. But for me, one thing I like about this a little bit better is the tech tree itself, right? If we have pollinated and then, oops, back at our hives, get our honey, reap that. Get our, this is what, look at this tree. So I kind of like to see it in the tree a little bit more. That's not what you mean. Press J. Something different. I know what you're talking about. So if we come to here, play, then do a J. Oh, yes, right. So you can just do a search for, yeah, I forget what you're, I guess I wasn't sure what you were talking about, but yeah, you could do a search for honey here and then just see your honey stuff flashing, right? Yep. Exactly. I've been using that feature quite a bit. I've also been using, of course, the Yum feature, but quite a bit of searching lately. I really like to have a couple of things that I'm searching for. Like one of the things I've been searching for is glue. In fact, I'm not sure why I'm not looking for it right now, but I don't think anyone's made glue yet. It's not high on my priority list, but I've started searching for it anyway. So if somebody does make it, then I'll be alerted to it. And the reason that I wanted to look for that, not that you have to make it either, but one of the things I was looking to do is get the bags for seeds, because we have another new thing that it took a lot of work. Get this flax. So to get some kind of cloth linen, we needed to have these flax plants, and it was very difficult to find the seeds for this. They are only way you can get the seeds originally on what's called a rock with flowers. And so, of course, I had to do a search for that, riding all around the universe. And then the whole flax thing is a pretty complex set of builds using the rock and the flax scrutch and the drop spindle and a bunch of other stuff here. If you're not familiar with that, you might look that up. I'm not sure if we need to worry about that anymore right now, but definitely when we were trying to get the cloth for the straining the honey, we needed to get that done. That was fun. Yeah. Some features busted for you. It's highlighted stuff you can't even eat, like trees. Really? Hmm. I do know that the yum feature is slightly busted for me in that um, it highlights raw pies sometimes. So, of course, the pie will be edible once you cook it, but it's not cooked. It's still showing as a yum. And there was something else that was showing as a yum. Oh, sometimes the meats, like a raw rabbit or a raw uh, beef or something like that. And of course, once you cook it, then yeah, it'll be a yum, but it's not a yum at the moment. And sometimes some of those things require a little bit more effort. You're going to have to start a fire if you're going to cook that meat. That isn't too hard to do, but it's not like you can eat it immediately. So, yeah. All right, guys, I am getting really tired now. So, like I said, I'm going to be back awake in about 5 or 6 hours. I'll jump in, start doing some streaming. Till then, feel free to poke around here a little bit, uh, get a feel for the land, think about where you might want to put some buildings. I don't have anything locked into my brain where, I feel like something has to be done in a certain place or in a certain way. So you have free reign to start doing whatever you want. I think I've explained where a few things are currently, but if you want to do a second one in a like I know, Damp, you really love your buildings and you have done some amazing ones. So if you want to do another, well, oh, and with this kitchen area, I do want to have a much more formal kitchen. So if you want to redo the kitchen, either redo this whole area or put a better kitchen in another area, feel free. Although we've got our garden right here, so I think this might be a good place for it. But feel free to do that. And I think the person who's doing the forge area really has that fairly good, so I doubt you'd want to redo the forge area. But there might be a few things. Well, I would say maybe not fix up the forge too much because um, one of our friends named Cowboy spent a bit of time on that, and he might want to kind of keep it like he's put it together. But for the clothes, if you want to do the clothes or the kitchen or whatever else, then feel free to put those buildings wherever you want. Do whatever it is that you want. Let's see. Yep, for me, but how am I supposed to eat a tree? Oh, yeah. Right. So is it flashing like all those different types of trees? Let me hop in here real quick. Get back into the game just for a second. Keep saying I'm going to go to bed, and then I keep wanting to check out one or two more things. So if I come over here, and these fruit trees are not propagated yet. I don't think they are. They're just flowering. If I do yum, see, they're not zooming for me. Those trees aren't yum. None of these other trees are flashing as yums for me. Right? So that's interesting. Do you need to download the game again to get maybe the latest version? The only things that are flashing yum for me are actually somewhat edible. Although I will say, uh, this honey is flashing yum. I don't think I can eat that. Can I? If I eat that, is that going to work? Oh, wow. I can eat honey right out of the bowl. No, I could do that. But certainly, there are some things over here. We say, look at yums. Here we got this raw meat. If I grab one of those, try to eat it, I certainly can't eat it. And there are some raw pies. I don't think there's any raw pies over here anymore. I think I cooked them all. Oh, but certainly like the stew. We can't eat the stew right out of the crock, although it flashes. I guess that's kind of okay though, because you can always put a bowl to it, eat it right away. Let's see what else we got over here. That's fine. So most of the things that are popping up as yum for me is edible. But things like the raw meat isn't, of course. Oh, and I guess the seeding carrots, I need a stone for that, but I guess that's okay to show as edible. You just need the harp stone. Let's see. I have to move stuff to make the floors, but it will be placed in the exact same spot. Yeah, yeah, certainly feel free to, you can, in fact, you could tear down any of this stuff in here. Nobody is tied to this Adobe Kiln or the Delta or any of this stuff being any of these places specifically. So feel free to rearrange it however you want in here. And if it's going to be too much trouble to do anything in here, then certainly you can do it in maybe up here. That's a little bit easier. Or just whatever. Totally different place. We need to update the mod. Have you gotten the new mod? I think you must know the link, the proper link for the mod, right? And so yeah, I of course I'm running the latest version of the mod. Which again, I'm sure you know this, but just for any new people that are coming in, it's on GitHub, and there's Rishfish, or however you pronounce that. And then there's One Life -1, and then releases. You can find this link in the description of this video that you're watching right now. Or, of course, it's also in the Discord for 2 Hours One Life. If you'd prefer to look at their Discord, 2 Hours One Life, and then you go up into their information section where they have a bunch of links. And down in other clients is their Hetude and Town Planner. And there's the link to just what I was saying. GitHub, Rishfish, or whatever, One Life releases. And that'll take you to this page. Scroll down a little bit. Then there's the Hetude with Minitech for Windows or Linux. The Town Planner for Windows or Linux. You needed that there too. For any new players who need the latest version, that's the place to do it. Let's see. Yep, it's in the Discord too. Absolutely. Yeah, some players are probably going to feel safer with getting the link from the Discord rather than from my video. And I think some players might feel better about the convenience of being right in the description of the video, but I like to do both ways. And in general, I would always recommend getting it from the better source. So the Discord is really the better source to get it from. That's just for safety factors for anyone else who's listening to this video here. Okay, folks, I am really getting tired. So we have our little spawn area. Amp, you're welcome to build in here right now if you've got the urge. Otherwise, I'll see you in about 5 or 6 hours. Anyway, it's fantastic meeting up with you again. And we got a new guy with us. So if you see Cowboy working in the area also, I don't know how often he'll come in. He was in quite a bit the other day. But we do have one other person who's been in a little bit. He's the guy who did the current forge area. So he's fairly good too at building. Let's see. I know just lazy as long as it still works, at least mostly. I don't care. Yeah, I think the mod works perfectly here for me. But even if it's glitching just on that one thing of Yum for you, then I'm sure it works good enough to use, right? All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. Thanks for being here. Damp, again, fantastic to see you again. I know we had a lot of fun a few months ago. Hope it's just fun this time, but I don't want you to feel obligated, of course. So come and go as you want. And until then, I'll see y'all later. Rock out.